Get your daily news fix from NewsSourceCrawler's latest edition, 12 March 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more.
RFK Jr. demands that food companies eliminate artificial dyes and instructs the FDA to amend the self-affirm rule to enhance food ingredient safety. He aims to close a loophole permitting chemicals in the U.S. food supply. Meanwhile, the Girl Scouts face a lawsuit over alleged heavy metals and pesticides in their cookies. Despite the COVID pandemic, a survey reveals that most Americans still trust the CDC and NIH 5 years later.
Reuters has announced that CoreWeave has secured a $12 billion cloud contract from OpenAI, according to sources, prior to the company's IPO. Additionally, Reuters reports that Meta is initiating the testing of its inaugural AI training chip, developed internally. Furthermore, Roche and Zealand Pharma have entered into a $5.3 billion agreement concerning a novel obesity drug candidate.
BlackRock's Fink warns that Trump's deportations will significantly affect agriculture and construction. HSBC reassesses its European stock outlook, lowering its U.S. expectations due to reconsideration of Trump optimism. In the United States, Representatives Ocasio-Cortez and Luna propose a bill to limit credit card interest rates to a maximum of 10%. In the United States, Homeland Security has revamped its asylum phone application, which is now intended for self-deportation. A Justice Department official claims she was dismissed for opposing the reinstatement of Mel Gibson's gun rights. Tulsi Gabbard has withdrawn security clearances for several high-ranking Biden officials and individuals who criticize Trump.
Former President of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, has been apprehended by the government following a request from the International Criminal Court, ICC, regarding his drugs war. Meanwhile, Elon Musk attributes a recent outage on the platform X to a massive cyber attack allegedly connected to Ukraine. The hacking group known as Dark Storm has taken responsibility for the distributed denial of service (DDoS) attack on X. In Pakistan, a tense standoff ensues as militants hold approximately 250 hostages aboard a hijacked train.
Amazon will start streaming Trump's The Apprentice. Trump announces his purchase of a Tesla to demonstrate support for Musk amid declining sales, and he vows to classify assaults on Tesla sites as domestic terrorism. The California Pension Fund designates Chevron and Saudi Aramco as climate investments.
A study reveals that merely 7 nations globally adhere to the WHO's air quality standards. Cuba experiences aging, as the island records its lowest birth rate since the Revolutionary era. Saudi Arabia envisions unprecedented skyscrapers.
Reportedly, startups starting to compete with big tech for India AI talent. Amazon, Google, and Meta support tripling of nuclear capacity by 2050. Geothermal could meet 64% of hyperscale data center power demand, as per a study. The United States will remain a crucial player in the global climate change efforts, even in the absence of Donald Trump, according to the president of COP30. A recent study suggests that the Earth's atmosphere is contracting, which heightens the dangers associated with space debris. This is because climate change is expected to decrease the number of satellites that can safely orbit the planet. Additionally, Relativity has appointed Eric Schmidt as its new CEO while simultaneously advancing the development of its Terran R rocket.
Sony Music reports the removal of more than 75,000 items in its ongoing efforts to combat AI deepfakes. Scale AI is under investigation due to claims that it is not adequately compensating its data labeling contractors. A leaked internal Sony video features Horizon's Aloy to demonstrate an AI-powered prototype of a PlayStation character.
Carlos Slim has decided to sever his connection with Elon Musk's Starlink, and is instead investing a substantial $22 billion in establishing his own independent network. In a separate development, Airtel has declared a partnership with SpaceX to introduce Starlink's high-speed internet services to its customer base in India. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is attempting to arrange a meeting with the Italian president in an effort to rescue the Starlink deal, following reports from 7 days ago that Italy is becoming hesitant about proceeding with the agreement to utilize Musk's Starlink.
California prisons restrict inmate movement following a series of 7 homicides. Redfin reveals that the top 1% of wealthiest Americans have the financial capability to purchase 99% of the homes available in the country. The increasing worldwide demand for matcha is causing a shortage in Japan.
Spain is set to implement significant penalties for failing to label content created by artificial intelligence. In the European Union, Apple and Meta have managed to steer clear of fines that could have reached up to 10% of their global revenue, instead encountering only minor sanctions. Meanwhile, Google has updated its Chrome extension policies in response to the Honey Link scandal, now imposing restrictions on questionable affiliate extensions such as Honey.
In the United States, Senator Cynthia Lummis has reintroduced the Bitcoin Act, which proposes enabling the country to purchase $80 billion worth of Bitcoin. Meanwhile, Coinbase has registered with India's Financial Intelligence Unit and intends to launch crypto trading services within the year. Additionally, Thailand has given the green light for USDT and USDC to be traded on cryptocurrency exchanges.
TikTok plans to implement a 10 p.m. curfew for the majority of teenagers. LEGO is establishing an in-house game development team, creating a new studio. Waymo is providing round-the-clock robotaxi services in Silicon Valley.
Syria has decided to incorporate the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces into its state institutions, following an agreement between the Syrian government and the SDF to integrate the northeast region. Angola's presidency announced that the country will strive to facilitate direct negotiations between Congo and M23. In a new book, the Dalai Lama advises his followers to oppose any successor selected by China, stating that his successor will be born in the free world outside of China.
The U.S. Department of Education has reduced its workforce by approximately 50%. The White House has clarified that former President Trump will not reduce Social Security or Medicare following comments by Elon Musk. The U.S. Department of Defense has revealed that the Pentagon is cutting back on social science research to focus on fiscal responsibility and technologies for future battlefields.
During a speech at Harvard, the former Prime Minister of Israel humorously suggested he would provide protesters with exploding pagers. A comedian who made disparaging remarks about Puerto Rico at a Trump rally has secured a deal with Netflix. China is set to convene Russia and Iran for discussions on nuclear matters, coinciding with Trump's efforts to negotiate a weapons agreement. Volkswagen reinstates physical buttons after acknowledging touchscreens as problematic. An ancient DNA study reveals that pet cats came to China through the Silk Road 1,400 years ago. The discovery of kaolinite mineral on Mars hints at the potential for ancient life.
Research indicates that microplastics disrupt plant photosynthesis, posing a risk of starvation to millions. The largest cross-cultural study to date reveals that sexism contributes to social problems affecting both men and women. A study proposes that the party drug MDMA might have shielded survivors of the Nova attack from trauma. Trump said Russia had all the cards, but this ceasefire proposal just called Putin's bluff. China to host Russia and Iran for nuclear talks amid Trump's bid to make a deal on weapons. Iran's president to Trump said, "I will not negotiate, do whatever the hell you want."
Canada reverses its decision on the U.S. electricity tax as Trump plans to increase tariffs. Recently, Trump raised Canadian steel and aluminum tariffs to 50% in response to Ontario's energy duties and imposed new tariffs on Canada, renewing his 51st state demands. Trump's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports are implemented, prompting Europe to retaliate with EU countermeasures targeting U.S. goods worth $28 billion. Australia decides against a reciprocal action on the U.S. after Trump enforces steel tariffs.
Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from the Friday, February 28 to the Thursday, March 6, 2025. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, APTA by Rose and Bruno Mars, Luther, with SZA, by Kendrick Lamar and SZA, and Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish.
Nintendo US digital top sellers starting March 10, 2025. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Minecraft, Overcooked. 2. Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Nintendo US digital top sellers starting March 10, 2025. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Minecraft, Overcooked. 2. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA collaborates with ASD's ACSC, CCCS, NCSC UK, and various international and US entities to issue guidance on edge devices.
One more drop in the ocean of AI. Electric Alexis Notagen. Notagen is a model for generating symbolic music, specifically focusing on creating high-quality classical sheet music. It draws inspiration from the achievements of large language models, LLMs, and employs a training process divided into 3 stages: initial training on a dataset of 1.6 million musical pieces, subsequent fine-tuning on approximately 9,000 classical compositions using prompts that specify the period, composer, and instrumentation, and final reinforcement learning utilizing our innovative CLAMP DPO method, which does not necessitate human annotations or pre-defined rewards.